There is a country on the western continent of Africa rumored to have the happiest funerals in the world. But in what way can loss turn into a celebration? You have likely only been exposed to this tradition through this viral clip.
These people, when they are taking your beloved one to the final resting place, they also dance.
But in reality, their funerals go much, much further in complexity and in intention. And so, in the search of this unusual tradition, we are flying to this country in the hopes of finding a way to get invited to this intimate moment and witness it up close and ask some questions. We're in West Africa.
We are in West Africa.
Our first stop in the country of Ghana begins our multiple-part series across several countries in Africa, bringing you into places and traditions you have likely never seen before. Welcome to our African Saga, a series we decided to self-sponsor ourselves through our brand Seek Discomfort, which has a brand new drop out right now of our new and improved Sherpa hoodies, along with our first holiday drop we are super proud of, the Medley collection, which celebrates how every human is a beautiful medley of different traits. As a part of this drop, we are also releasing tons of new Seek products. From our neon sign to new jewelry, phone cases, and passport holders, the list goes on. So check it out on seekdiscomfort.com after this video. And now, back to Africa. In the search of this story, we assembled a team. Svenja, our storyteller friend who told us about these funerals she had seen while visiting the country 3 years ago, told us that these funerals inspired her work as a photographer to start creating a visual language for the theme of death. She'd flown to Ghana a few days early to help us find clues of funerals happening this weekend.
So basically the whole town knows now that I'm looking for a funeral. So they are helping me find one. It's really amazing.
Alongside our local problem solver, Kwesi, and videographer, Kwame. When we arrived, however, we quickly found out from the team we'd assembled that we were a little late.
The situation is it's Friday, and Friday is usually the beginning of kind of the celebration part of the funerals, so we're a bit tight on time.
This meant that we'd have to find a family willing to invite us to a funeral that day. Luckily, what we noticed when we landed in Ghana was the funerals were actually advertised everywhere, on posters, billboards, or flyers, as a sign of respect and open invitation.
You would mostly see on all funeral, posters, all sympathizers are cordially invited.
Wow.
Yes, all. There's always emphasis on all.
So we found a poster
yes,
of a funeral, and you're gonna try and find where it is?
where it is.
So since we were already running out of time, we decided to split up.
Look at this dream team.
Sent Tommy and Kwesi to investigate these funerals and their posters, while Svenja, Kwame, and myself would go to the original fantasy coffin makers and see if we can find some clues there.
Oh my god. All right, let's go check out our first coffin workshop. What?
Hello again. Good to see you.
Sorry, I'm Thomas.
I brought my friends this time.
Is this your workshop?
Document.
It was started by my grandfather.
Okay.
I was born here, so I grew up learning this.
And the shark is new.
That's not a shark.
Oh, that is
Yellow
the
food.
tuna.
Yeah.
Wait, so this is a coffin?
Just a coffin. You don't
Wow.
I believe you, but can you? Oh, whoa!
Crazy.
Wow! So why is this one a tuna?
She sells tuna. Who is a fisherman, but only catches tuna.
And so then to represent her life's work,
Yeah.
she gets buried in a coffin tuna.
And the tuna.
So this is a Bible coffin.
She said that when I die, I want to be buried in a Bible.
Wow.
So that's the same thing we have to do.
Are you proud of the work that you do, getting to build these?
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's my responsibility and my duty to give you a farewell.
A beautiful one.
Yeah.
What coffin are you gonna be buried in?
I want to be buried in an hammer.
And a hammer.
And a hammer.
Why?
That's what I was born in, and I grew up in it, so I can't leave it behind, and it can't also leave me behind.
That's amazing. I love that. After telling the coffin makers about what we were here to do in Ghana, they told us about coffins they had just shipped off for funerals this weekend. One of them being for the funeral of a royal queen mother that would end up being the biggest and most traditional funeral in Accra that weekend that these coffin makers had the contacts to. There's a big one.
Yeah. Queen mother, yeah.
Oh, okay. The queen mother.
The same one. Yeah.
You know what? I saw a poster today on a car, on the back of a car, with this woman. And I saw Royal Queen Mom. So I was like, oh wow, she must be a very loved person. You have the details, right?
Okay.
Wow.
If you have their contact.
I'll send it to him so that maybe he can talk to them.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Whoa.
It's all working out.
See you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I like that. Wait.
Wait, I have to film this.
Oh,
One more
that's
time.
awesome. We got a secret handshake now. So when we arrived, I thought getting invited to a funeral would be borderline impossible, but did you expect it to go that quick?
Yeah, actually.
You did?
Yeah.
We're like, wow, this is amazing. And you're like,
Wow.
nah. Is it just something in the culture in Ghana to be open
Yeah,
like this?
Ghanaians are actually quite hospitable, very hospitable actually,
Mm.
especially to visitors.
Really?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, since the Queen Mother's funeral was so official, it was too late notice for us to join the first night of that funeral. But luckily, Kwesi had made some progress on his side and found someone who'd allow us to attend another funeral that same evening.
Okay. Alright. Okay.
You don't know that guy, right?
No.
We're about to walk into someone's funeral right now.
Thomas.
Nice to meet you.
David, that's my dad. I have 8 siblings.
Wow. You're the youngest?
Yeah, I'm the last. I'm the youngest.
The youngest. How old
90
was
years.
your dad?
90.
years.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a long life.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing about your dad?
My dad is very humble, is friendly, and very kind and loving.
We learned that on this first evening, the attendees are mostly the direct family, that wear black to symbolize the unknown of where we are going after life on Earth. And this first day is meant for farewells. Crying and sadness is a part of this first moment. This is beautiful.
There's a lead singer who always would.
He was saying there's always a lead singer that initiates the singing. So in there somewhere, there's one of them is leading the whole thing.
It's pretty incredible. I'm like almost in tears. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Although the direct family members don't always participate in the dancing, the other members of the family and close friends do as a means to begin celebrating the long and beautiful life that this man had with his 90 years on this earth. Quick reminder that this is a funeral. The body is in the back room and everyone just finished giving their final respect and now the party begins.
They're all smiling and laughing. It's amazing.
Never in my life did I think I would dance at a funeral.
Same.
Tearing up?
If I talk about it, it'll make me cry. Oh man. Reminds me a lot of my grandma.
Why did she pass away? Being here, we couldn't help but feel deeply moved by how beautiful of a scene this was. That on a day of mourning, this family was singing and dancing together, what felt like a physical processing of grief, one that allows them to feel the emotions of loss, to let it out together, and to honor the beautiful life of their departed loved one.
It's like a release, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like you don't get that in Western.
No.
It feels like such a more complete way to process grief. The body was laid there, presented like beautifully. Everyone got to pay their respects, and then while they were dancing, they would go in too and dance.
Yes.
Wow.
So while they're dancing, people would just walk in, to pay their last respect.
Yeah, that's so unique.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, instead of running away from it, you like embrace it and you make a part of the celebration too.
That's much more emotional than I thought it would. I mean, it's a funeral, what did I expect? But in a different way, I guess.
Yeah.
Very moved.
So this was supposed to be the sad part, so I guess tomorrow is...
Yeah, what?
So expect more fire.
Fire.
How do you get much happier than that?
I don't know what we're really getting ourselves into, to be honest.
Because it's a queen mother, my best guess would be like lots of cultural display. I'm sure it'll be very colorful and eventful.
Oh, that's our poster.
Yeah.
So they were just saying that all these shops are closed for the Queen Mother's funeral.
We are like a traditional society or traditional African society, and so every community, every town has a king or a queen or a chief.
The Queen Mother's responsibility is immense. She is actually the one who chooses who the next chief of her area will be. She provides wise counsel to the chief and his elders, rallying all the women together and keeping an eye on the social conditions of the society, making her an immensely important and beloved member of her community.
All the traditional heads within the territory of the Queen Mother would all come and pay their last respect. And if they are coming, they like to also, display a bit of their culture.
Hundreds of people gathered, singing and dancing, and this is 10 in the morning. There's a lot going on right now.
It's a little overwhelming. I'm awake. Getting used to this at all.
I lost this.
They are taking it to the church before they take it to the cemetery.
I see. Thank you. Thank you. The granddaughter of the Queen Mother is taking us under her wing. What was your name?
Messi.
Messi?
She's a very good Queen Mother. Very good.
See that to give the power of nature to send
send her up.
Right, send her right.
I see.
There's always gun firing like this, but not with bullets.
Right.
Just a gunpowder. It gives a lot of power within. You know, when the guy it wakes you up. To be alert. Absolutely. So is it your first time to Ghana?
First time to Ghana.
Wow, so it's good to see these amazing feelings of our funeral.
I'm so used to like sad and like solemn funerals that this is such an awakening.
Well, this is not normal everywhere in Africa. Especially in Ghana, you can can see our enthusiasm, we have our hospitality.
Welcome to Ghana.
Thank you.
Welcome to Ghana.
So we arrived at the church. There it is.
Day 3.
Day 3.
Are we going to wedding or funeral?
At this point, I'm not really sure. We believe that today is supposed to be the bigger party, dance, music.
Today is last day, so everybody wants to show
Respect.
power. Yes.
Okay.
Let me introduce you.
How are you? Where do they go after this procedure has happened?
We believe that when you die, you go and join our ancestors.
For you, a funeral like this, do you see it as a celebration, or do you see it as a moment of grief, or both?
It's both.
Both.
Both. Yes.
Both.
It's both. No, it's not depends. It is only when the person has been buried, then you can say celebration. Today is a celebration because you see nobody is crying. When somebody's eye is red, it means that the person is what? Is
Grieving.
Crying.
Right.
Yes, crying. Once the person wear white, is happy. Yes.
So yes.
We'll talk again.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I asked 3 people how they're related to Queen Mother, and they don't even know her. One are tenants in one of her houses. The other one has a shop here, and they just came to pay their respect. This is so different from what we know. I love it.
So, after 2 days of the funeral proceedings, the first for mourning and the second for honoring, it was finally time for the last stage, celebration. Starting now and continuing all throughout the night was the biggest party of the weekend.
There's a lot going on right now.
As the celebrations carried on into the evening, the dancing became even more vibrant.
All the moms want to dance with mommy.
And the second for you do what you do. And 7 sido. Panfase.
I see that.
The level of hospitality and openness from everyone that we met was almost hard to process.
That was incredible. That was a party. I didn't think the hardest I would ever dance in my life would be at a funeral. Had you seen a lot of that cultural dancing before?
Yes. I love it. When you see it, you feel you have something to show the world. There are a lot of Africans who are not proud of themselves, who lack that self-esteem. As an African, you can always look at it and be proud of. This is beautiful stuff.
Thank you for telling us this part of your culture.
You're welcome.
The eagerness to teach us about their tradition, the continuous invitations to dance, and the kindness and trust in strangers walking into such a delicate event inspired all of us in many ways to be more open and kind to strangers seeking to connect. As my first West African traditional event, it makes me wonder and dream about how many treasures this continent has. I hope to remember, alongside the wonderful people of Ghana, that although death is a moment that invites grief and introspection, ultimately celebrating those who have died and the lives that they lived is a beautiful way to end our grieving process with gratitude and joy for having met and experienced life on earth alongside them in the first place. As a reminder, we decided to self-sponsor this series with Seek Discomfort and our first holiday drop, Medley, which on top of super creative designs also has tons of new Seek products. We're actually going to be giving away a free shopping bag with each purchase, so we hope to see you on seekdiscomfort.com, currently enabling these trips, and we'll see you here next week for another adventure from Africa.